So I just wanted to show you guys an alternate way in how I do things to get power out to your garden, to different areas. Because sure, you can run an extension cable across your entire yard, and realistically though, that's not really safe. And I don't have power out in my garden. And this isn't just true for things like this, for projects. It's also a way for me to not have to spend money, extra money going to the power company and things like that. This is kind of a way to have power. You set it up once and then you utilize it, you know, essentially for forever, you know. So I'm going to show you how I do that. This is the way that I power this entire warm, to keep this whole area, to keep things warm, as well as many other uses. Let's get to it. So this is my solar array. I'm just gonna kind of run through this a little bit. If you guys have any questions or need me to make a better video, let me know. But basically I have power. Solar comes in through here. It's a safe way. I could disconnect the power from here and everything else. And then it runs, I have batteries in here and inverters and ways to plug basically everything in and to monitor everything through here. So I also have solar panels up here, and this is what's soaking up that energy. If you're in a desert climate, there's no reason to not have solar. Why are we paying these power companies all of our money? You can just buy this once and then set it and forget it in a way. But at the same time, I'm gonna give you some ways so you can calculate everything and figure it out. It also powers my pond, so I don't have power out here. This is a way that I can have another source without having to run extension cables all across my yard. So I just found these FLLYROWER batteries on Amazon. These are Life PO4 batteries. You want to get these instead of using like your standard car batteries. These will last a lot longer, and they're made for recharging, like going all the way down and coming all the way up. So this is a 100 amp hour, 12.8 volts. I got 2 of these, and that should be more than enough to power what I'm powering. Now there's all sorts of equations and mathematical details and all that kind of stuff. I'm not really going into that in this video. If you need me to, let me know and I can. There's tons of videos out there for this. But these are super light. It's like 20 pounds a piece. You get something that's like AGM or like those car batteries, and you're looking at like 80 pounds, 100 pounds, something stupid. Like I don't know if you ever lifted those batteries. These actually come with chargers, I want to say. Yeah, so you can charge these directly utilizing these, or you can charge them like you would any other battery at the top. But you can plug these in on the side, and it has one of these connectors. And this was like only $160, I want to say, or so. But on the side there's a USB, and then there's a charging spot right there. You plug these in and it slow charges, and there's the USB as well. That lights up to let you know what your voltage is at as well. And a power button. Let's get these charged and tested. So I have these indoors. I'm gonna leave these on here. Allegedly it takes like 12 hours to charge. These came with the battery. Triple charger, you plug these in and it charges through the side. Each one of these come with this version came with the actual charger. Now these should turn green and shut off when it's completed. So you just kind of just set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about it. Let's take a look at the information on the side. Feel free to pause the screen if you need. I don't want to waste a bunch of time on there, but basically it's saying everything I said. Charge it for 12 hours. And some safety information and whatnot, but for the most part it's obvious. Alright, now I have both of them set up here. I just want to show you how this basically works. You just plug this guy in, and then you twist to lock it in. And again, this came with it, so you don't have to worry about it. It has the 3 prongs. You plug it in. We're going to get these charged and then tested. I'm going to show you how I tested it. Again, if you need me to make a longer video or any specific videos, let me know in the comments. But you want to test these batteries as soon as you get them. Test them a bunch of times and make sure that they're actually outputting at the power and capacity that you purchased them for, right? So this is a MakerHawk battery tester, load tester. So pretty much you turn these knobs all the way down, you connect one end to this and one end to the terminals, and then you slowly increase the wattage on here and you let it drain the battery. And then after the time is up, it'll tell you how many amp hours and whatnot is the battery. You just want to test the capacity. So we have it plugged in. We're just going to turn this to start draining the power, and then set it and forget it. Come back in the morning, 6 hours, 8 hours, 12, depending on the load, and then it'll tell us what our amp hours are. So basically these nozzles will adjust the current to drain the battery. So the bigger one is the bigger amount of current you want out, and then you're going to fine tune it with the bottom one. You want to set these, it'll drain the battery, then at the end of everything, it basically will tell you how many watt hours that battery really is. And you want to make sure that that watt hour is matching what you purchased it for. As you saw on the front of this one, it's supposed to be 100 amp hours. So after 6 hours, 8 hours, or whatever the case is, based on the load that I'm putting on here, it'll then come back and tell me, hey, that's a good battery or not. And you want to do this periodically, like every couple of months, just to make sure that that battery is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So we'll let this run. Again, if you need me to do any other videos specifically on this, let me know. But it's pretty straightforward for the most part. Alright, it's been running. We're now at 0.7 volts, pretty much drained, and you can see at the top right that we are over 100 amp hours. Alright, so I'm going to use this timer. I'm going to hook up my lights to this, and I pretty much, you can set the hours, the days, the minutes, and everything, and essentially say when to turn the lights on and off. So when it's freezing, probably do like 7 at night to 7 in the morning, and that'll turn on the lights and heat everything up. And that's all there is to it. So I also, if you saw my other video, I have one where you can directly do it over internet, which is in my opinion, it's better. But for this sort of setup, I don't want to use a whole lot of power, so I could just have it this way. This uses a whole lot less power than something that needs wireless or Bluetooth and whatnot. And as you see at the bottom, there's 2 plugs, so you can do 2 different wirings at the same time. So this is a wattage meter. I'm going to show you how you can calculate this to see if it's even worth it for you. These are using 564 watts of power. So I'm going to show you a calculation method. You can put all this information in, and then you can see once you figure out how much it costs to buy everything, that'll tell you how long it would take to get your return on investment, to get it paid off essentially. Alright, this is the website I'm using. I'm sure there's lots of different ones, but if you can look on here, you can see it breaks down per day, per week, per month, per year, how much your wattage is. So you're going to put in that wattage that I just pulled up. I thought it was 530. It might be wrong. And then you want to say how much is running at 100%, and then how many hours, right? So it's going to be going for 12 hours. And then this tells me how much it costs per day, per month. And then that gives me a calculation to know, hey, do I want to use solar? Do I want to use it a different way? Or how much is it going to cost me to run things this way in general, even if you have it hooked up to your house? And then these are just all the options that are on here. I mean, this is a pretty nifty site. I use this for other things as well. Like you bought a washer or dryer. You want to see how much power that's using and how much that's adding to your bill. Your refrigerator, how much is that adding to the bill? For me, I'm so specific, and before I got solar in my house, I wanted to see what things are actually good with power and what things are just wasting it. You know, the kids' electronics, you know, how much power is that using? The kid likes to have some lights, some like LED lights in their room. So this gives you a real-time calculation of that. So all these things combined will give you an idea of some things to do. These are just tools. You can do things whichever way you want to do them. I just want to give you some ideas on basically on how I do things. I'm sure there's tons of different sites and whatnot. You can go to like your local power, like ours is Nevada Power, and it tells you how much it costs per kilowatt hour or whatever the case is, so that you can put that information into the site. Let me know if you need me to do any specific videos on anything. This is kind of a quick rundown I don't know what you know or what you don't know or what you want to know. So if you need me to do anything specific and slow down or show you how I have my solar set up or anything like that, leave me a comment below, and then we'll get to that. The point is, you have options. I'm just giving you some tools, giving you some ideas, get those brain juices going. One of these mornings, though, get you out there to garden. Let's grow.